Family, we got a new video, straight banger. And the reason why I'm saying this is straight banger because I was talking about this in 2020, bro, when this first happened. The whole entire Tory Lanez situation. I was explaining to y'all how Tory Lanez gained his masters. He was no longer a part of the label. He was making all the money to himself with all the music that he was making. And the labels don't like that. The industry doesn't like that. So Roc Nation was finding a way to set him up. And the way that they found to set him up was through the Megan Thee Stallion situation. Some people don't like to hear that. It is what it fucking is. It is what it is, bro. I really don't even care. A lot of girls are going to be in the comments section talking about, oh, yeah, you're wrong. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I really don't even care. And I know a lot of people are going to be in the comments section, oh, no, put a shirt on. If you hate and you want to get fit too, just DM me fit. And I got you. I'll help you out. Ain't no reason to hate that I'm fit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no reason to hate. Just DM me fit and I got you. But in this video right here, we got the new video evidence that will free Tory Lanez. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think y'all fully absorbed what this title is saying. The new video evidence that will free Tory Lanez. What does that mean? Family. Once Tory Lanez gets free, he is now a free man, which means that he now has freedom of speech. He has freedom of location. He has freedom to do what he wants. If he wants to come on the internet and talk what he wants to fucking talk, he can talk what he wants to talk. If he wants to expose Megan Thee Stallion, if he wants to expose Roc Nation, he can say all of that. What does this mean? We're currently watching the fall of the entire music industry as we know it. Why do you think that the new generation, the streamers, are the new hit people? All you see on the internet now is straight streamers. You see rappers and artists going to the streamers. The music industry itself is collapsing in itself. All right. We have to understand that we're entering a new generation. We're entering a new era. The financial system's going to change. This is why I'm invested in cryptocurrency. Why? Because everything is changing as we know it. And evolution always happens. What do you think happened when the dollar was first created? Change happened. What do you think there was before the dollar? Not the dollar. What do you think happened when the dollar was created? Everything was ran off of USD. Now, what do you think is happening now? What if cryptocurrency becomes the new currency of the entire fucking world? Why do you think it's being talked about in the news? Why do you think Trump is talking about it in the news? Come on, man. We getting off topic, though. We're getting completely off topic. We're on the Tory Lanez situation. Okay, we're going to get back on that situation, family. New evidence has arose. Okay. Shout out to The Truth Is. He's the one who posted this video. Got 43K in 14 hours. But the thing is, this is the thing. More people need to see it. More people need to know it. There's so many people in this world that don't understand what's really going on in this fucking world when it comes to the battle between good and evil. So many people that do not understand. We need to have more people understand this so more people can at least be aware. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, let's get straight into this video. The new video evidence that will free Tory Lanez.
Recovering after being brutally attacked in prison by a man serving life. This all happened just days after Tory's team had reached out to Megan and Kelsey. regarding a new witness testimony. This attack sparked speculation that Tory could have been targeted by people who don't want to see him freed. Now things are taking another turn as Tory's defense team has come out claiming that they have new camera footage that could prove his innocence. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth and about the update. None of us besides Tory, Kelsey, Megan, and their security guard knows what truly happened that night. What we do know is that a lot of this situation doesn't make any sense. Some people think that I'm talking about this because I'm a fan of Tory Lanez. Honestly and truthfully, I'm not. I've never really... The reason record labels had put on him. Tory refused to continue to be a slave and managed to honorably deny re-signing to choose to be independent. The record labels didn't want to see that happen, so this all took place. Since the very beginning, there has been so many inconsistencies with this situation, things that don't add up from either side. Honestly, Meg, Kelsey, and even Tory have made the situation hard to believe. But
I'm about to get a water, but I'm still listening, y'all.
The one thing I confidently feel is that Meg is lying about Tory shooting her. I'm not saying she didn't get shot, as again I wasn't there, even though she did initially claim she had stepped on glass and wasn't shot. But Meg does claim now that she was shot and a gun was discharged that night, as there was several 911 calls to indicate that. The only thing is,
yo, if you watching with a dry ass mouth and you have calm mouth right now, go get a bev, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go get a bev. We cannot be watching this video bevless. It's that simple.
Don't understand why in the world Tory would have shot Meg. Why would he have gotten out of the car, chased her down and shot at her when she wasn't a threat to him and was walking away? Why would he have had to pull out a weapon and use it on someone who wasn't a threat to him at all? Well, according to Tory, he didn't shoot Megan. He claims it was Kelsey. As recently, he spoke with Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked and told him that Kelsey was who shot Meg. He even claimed that he took the rap for Kelsey because he didn't want to see her go to prison. This makes sense because Tory was not only dating her, but never blamed her for anything.
In a text message between Tory and I said, how are you? How you been? He said, incredible, in very high spirits and preparing to physically come home this year. I said, when? I need to come in there and get an interview, LOL. He said, I can't say exact days, but I know I'll be home this year. I said, how long you been gone? I'm so confused by your case. He said, actually, I have a crazy plan when I get back that I think you should know and be a part of because I'm only going to do one interview. And he said he's been gone 2.5 years. I said, I want to be a part of that plan. He said, it's honestly a bunch of suppressed evidence that was kept away from me during trial. I said, Wack told me that, but didn't say what. He said, like, through trial, they keep saying it was inconclusive on the gun DNA, but I always knew I never touched the gun, so I asked my lawyer to retest it, and sure enough, I was 102% excluded completely from everything, just like I said. I said, well, why didn't you just say who did it? He said, I took the rap for Kelsey, never wanted her to go to jail, and I never wanted Megan to get hurt or anything, so in me stopping her from getting shot, I got the raw deal. Crazy how life works. And
wow. So realistically, what this nigga Tory is saying right now is that this man was a stand-up dude. This is what he's saying, allegedly. Okay, allegedly. We're going to go off of what allegedly is being said. Now, is he in jail for something that he is proven 100% without a doubt to be convicted for? Who knows? Because we're saying that we have new evidence. But he's saying that he went to jail to, first off, protect Kelsey so she doesn't have to experience prison. And also protect Megan so she doesn't have to experience prison. Let's continue.
They made me the poster boy for the unprotection of black women when in all honesty, I protected 2 black women, one from getting shot and one from going to jail. Never said nothing in 8 to 10 years for them to live. It's a crazy, crazy place we live in. I said, but why you ain't just say that? And he said, I lost my mother at 11 years old. I couldn't sleep with myself. I was the reason for taking a mother away from her kid. I just couldn't do it. Tory Lanez.
Wow.
According to Jason Lee, Tory told him Kelsey was the one who shot Meg. He claims all he tried to do was break up the fight after Kelsey started shooting at Meg. Now, the reason I believe Meg didn't want to be honest about Kelsey doing it was because Rock Nation likely coached her. A representative of Rock Nation was present when Megan was questioned, which is strange. The same representative was at the trial as well. They used this perfect narrative to make Meg look like a victim who was abused by a short-tempered man, which sounds so much better than Meg getting shot by her own friend because she took her boyfriend. Tory is adamant.
You know, family, and sometimes we can't even look at Megan Thee Stallion as like the person that's just like fucking horrible. Like, if there's anyone that we're looking at in this situation as being fucking horrible, it's the label itself, because they're the one that devised this entire wicked ass plan. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're the ones that are completely money hungry. When it comes, they're the ones that need to control the entire industry. It's not Megan Thee Stallion. She's just a fucking puppet. She's just being controlled by them. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what threats are being made. We don't know what's being said behind closed doors. She signed the deal. She probably didn't even know what deal she was signing. You feel what I'm saying? Like when you want to get some money making music and you sign the deal, you don't know what it consists of.
Megan, he claims Kelsey did. This is quite interesting because Kelsey herself hasn't come out and said anything denying or confirming this. Just like in the trial, she claims to have lied or forgotten.
Kelsey look kind of good. But she might have to go to jail. She might have to get locked up after this new evidence, though. You feel what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. But she do look kind of good.
What she told the prosecution. You tell me what seems more believable. Tory shoots a non-threatening Meg Thee Stallion over a non-physical altercation, or Kelsey shooting Meg after it was already proven they were fighting because Meg had stolen her boyfriend. They literally were fighting each other over Tory Lanez and the betrayal that Meg did to Kelsey. Add this to the initial story told by one of the witnesses named Sean Kelly, and you see that Kelsey most likely did this. Kelly testified under oath that while he believes one of the girls fired the first shot, he saw the smaller gentleman fire 4 or 5 shots in quick succession, causing a woman to fall to the ground bleeding. Now, according to Tory, when he went in to stop Kelsey from shooting Meg, the gun went off, and that's why it looks like he shot the gun. One thing that I have been thinking about a lot was the fact that Meg stopped being friends with Kelsey after this situation. If you think about it, if Kelsey actually shot Meg, it would perfectly explain why they stopped being friends after that day. Meg knows Kelsey tried to end her over jealousy. To many people, it's pretty clear what happened.
I mean, for anyone that doesn't believe that Tory Lanez didn't do it, why would they stop becoming friends that day? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would they?
And according to Tory's team, they have even more evidence to prove he's innocent. A few days back, I covered the breaking news update that was released by Tory's team after he was targeted in prison. According to his team, Kelsey's own bodyguard had come out and confessed that he overheard Kelsey admitting she shot Meg. Tory's team made the assertion that because of Kelsey's bodyguard saying this, and they reaching out...
Bro, first off, I feel like I want to say rest in peace to this nigga Tory, but he's not dead. Fortunately. But he was stabbed 14 times. So prayers go out to Tory Lanez for real. He was stabbed 14 times. He's a human being at the end of the day. He was stabbed 14 fucking times. Being stabbed once is absolutely insane, but he was stabbed 14 times, bro. And that's especially sad for something he didn't do.
Out to Megan and Kelsey, Tory was targeted in prison in an attempt to silence him forever.
In Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out. But given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something.
Bro, this is the thing, like, at the end of the day, these two girls right here, Megan Thee Stallion and Kelsey, they're just girls, bro. And 10 times out of 10, a girl is going to follow the most influential man that's in her life. Now, if for Megan Thee Stallion, the most influential man that's in her life was a executive or a Jay-Z or someone working for Rock Nation that convinced her to say the narrative that was said, then that's what's going to be happening. Now that this new evidence is coming up, we're going to need to give it some time. We're going to need to see what exactly is going on. Thus far, I haven't seen 100% evidence that Tory Lanez has shot her. That's the thing, bro. That's the thing that's mind-blowing to me. You know, that's really the thing. It's really just he say, she say. But there needs to be stronger evidence.
He did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly.
What's interesting is that even after Tory's team did the conference blaming Kelsey, she still didn't come out and say anything. She didn't go online denying the allegations or responding to them. To me, this is very telling. Now, yesterday, Tory's father and a congresswoman named Anna Paulina, who is now helping Tory, went on Piers Morgan to discuss the new footage they have found. Now, one of the interesting things Tory's father said during this interview was that he doesn't believe Meg was shot at all. According to him, all the evidence suggests she wasn't ever shot.
If your son was not responsible for Megan Thee Stallion being shot, we do know that indisputably she was shot. Who shot her?
First of all, the whole idea of her being shot is a speculation. That's a speculation.
This nigga is really Tory Lanez's dad, bro. Like, bro, that's crazy. And the craziest part is that my dad recently just visited Miami to visit me and my brother. And yo, shout out to my dad. Cool ass dude, bro. And it's just cool to see that I could see myself in him. And I know he could see himself in me. And I'm looking at this nigga and that look like Tory Lanez, bro. That look like a 50-year-old Tory Lanez. You can't tell me it don't. Let's be real. You cannot tell me it don't, bro.
It's to this point has not been proven that she was even shot. But the reality is that in all of this, how can you have a situation where in pretrial, the police, LAPD, says that the bullet fragments they had collected from the hospital just mysteriously vanishes. It goes missing. I would think that evidence is something that is protected in any police department, but they just mysteriously go missing. So there's no bullet fragments to be presented at trial. You have a situation where a gun is shot, and the gun, which is supposed to be your main piece of evidence, does not even show up at court, but some picture of a weapon that resembles or is the type of weapon they say that was used. The weapon does not show up at court. There is absolutely no, we hear this point of 0.1% of his DNA on the gun. You know what that actually means when you investigate it? That over 1.5 billion black people on the planet that could have been their DNA. Yet my son is convicted of having used this gun. The whole thing stinks of a conspiracy, and it stinks of a cover-up.
Now, I know he's Tory's dad, and it's his job to protect his son. But honestly, with the amount of...
Hey, bro, if you're on the side of Megan Thee Stallion, just please comment down below the evidence that was provided. Like, I gotta let you guys know, I'm not here to, take sides. I'm here to really bring the truth to light and whatever makes the most sense. So I'm not here, you know what I'm saying? If there's evidence that Megan Thee Stallion 100% shot this dude, bro, or shorty, comment it down below. I'm here to hear it out. Here to hear it out.
Inconsistencies in this case since day one. I wouldn't be surprised if Meg wasn't shot at all, as Meg's initial story was that she stepped on glass. Considering that she was dancing and running around not long after this incident happened, it is believable that she was never shot. And that was honestly her first inconsistency. Then she also claimed she lied to Gayle King about sleeping with Tory, which is another inconsistency.
Yes, I lied to Gayle King. First of all, I didn't know she was even going to ask me about it. She's always want to talk about this shooting. Why did you ask me about the story? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Kept catching me out of my mind.
So how are we honestly supposed to believe what Meg's saying if she has lied about so many things? She has also told the story in many different ways that don't line up with each other. Another important thing that most people defending Meg seem to overlook was the fact that Tory's fingerprints were supposedly not found on the gun, with it being reported that it was inconclusive. All of this is seeming to work on Tory's behalf. Now his team also claims they have footage to prove Tory never did anything. According to the Congresswoman Anna, they have in their possession ring camera footage that would vindicate Tory Lanez and prove his innocence.
She admitted to lying to Gayle King. What I will also tell you is I'm also have been informed that there's actually ring footage, and that will likely also be released here pretty soon. I know we are helping to put the evidence out there to the American people, but I do believe that this is really a terrible case, and what was done to this family is unacceptable, and I will be continuing to push for his full pardon. I think that people owe them an apology. Furthermore, I'd like to finally say this, that I actually spoke to Mr. Lanez on the phone in prison yesterday, actually, and he is actually going to get very involved in criminal justice reform to ensure that this doesn't happen to other people, because in his case, he has an incredible family supporting him. He has the financial backing to fight this, but many people don't. And so that's where we are going to continue to champion these causes at the federal level, even all the way to the White House and in Washington, D.C.
To be clear, do you actually think a gun was fired at all then? Or could that in itself be in question? And if it was fired, who do you think fired it?
I don't know who fired it, but what I will tell you is...
Wow, before we get into who fired it, y'all hear what she said? She's essentially talking about how there are many people. You have to think about this. There are many people in this world that are in jail without proper justification due to a setup. And fortunately, Tory Lanez has the finances to hire lawyers. He has the family, the father, to have his back, to support him throughout the entire situation, because he has a father that truly loves him. Because if his father didn't love him, he would not be here on the Piers Morgan show consistently trying to show people that there isn't enough evidence for him to currently be in jail right now. So prayers also go out to the people that are currently in jail that don't have proper justification or evidence that puts them in jail without reasonable doubt. Prayers go out to them, and I hope they are, feeling better and know that God is for them no matter what they're going through.
Is that based on the evidence that I've seen and that the Tory's attorneys presenting to the American people, I think that there are a lot of things in question. And I would say that, look, Pierce, you know that I'm a United States Air Force veteran. I grew up in a very rough area. I was at a high school where there was a gang shooting. When someone gets shot, there's evidence of that. My husband was shot in Afghanistan in 2014, and the evidence isn't lining up.
So you do not think she was actually shot?
I'm not a criminal investigator in that sense, so I'm just going to go on record for saying that the evidence as of right now is showing that there are no bullet fragments that have been presented, which I'll let people assume what they will not.
Okay. As you heard for yourself, according to Anna, there is ring camera footage that proves Tory's innocence. Now, recently, Meg's team has denied all the claims, rejecting what Tory's team is calling evidence. Rock Nation's lawyer, Alex Spiro, said this in response to the new evidence. Despite Mr. Lanez being convicted at trial by overwhelming evidence that included his own admission of his guilt, flanked by any ignorant person they can find, have pushed whatever misleading narrative they can. One by one, their misleading statements unravel, and all that is left is the simple truth. He was convicted by overwhelming evidence, and those who seek to traumatize the victim of the crime should be called out as foolish bullies. This is how Meg's team is handling this, calling people bullies and trying to use the same woke card they used from the very beginning. Tory's team is doing everything in their power to prove his innocence, and honestly, while I don't know what happened that night, I know we were never told the true story. I believe that at minimum, Tory should get another trial. This time, it should be a fair trial where all the evidence is presented and not mismanaged. If he's still found guilty after that, then sadly, it is what it is. But I feel right now, he's being held in prison to be taught a lesson and nothing else.
Bro, how long is he in prison for right now? Is it I know damn well it's not for life, bro. It's probably for like 10 to 15 years, bro. No matter what, though, like, this is the thing. Like, if he gets out, I know he's going to speak the truth. Because that's going to be the only thing that matters at that point. Because he already done 10 to 15 years. But this is the thing, family. When you're in prison, it's such a dirty, evil fucking place. It's really sad. And dudes that are in prison for life, or even like a long time, to the point where they know they're not going to really even get out, they will attack people like Tory Lanez or any other individual that they know is going to get out in due time. They will attack them and try to get them more time through them attacking them back and doing something out of revenge or spite, whether it's stabbing them, cutting them. You get years for that in prison, which is a messed up situation.
There is currently a petition on change.org to get Tory pardoned. If you want to help him in any way, make sure you head over there and sign it. Well, I'm gonna end this one here.
Okay, family. Comment down below what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm literally open to every single opinion, every single piece of evidence that's provided. That's the thing. I'm an evidence dude. I'm a completely evidence dude, bro. When it comes to my faith, when it comes to my belief system, I just can't be a dude of blind faith. You know what I'm saying? Because I know human beings lie so much. And it's not even me blaming it on human beings. It's just me blaming it on human nature. Human beings lie. People lie. Even when it, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to like the deepest of my deepest faith, even when it comes to the Bible, I'm always going to be more like, I guess you could call it skeptical about it. But I will always follow where the evidence leads. I will always follow where my conscience leads me, where the truth leads me. And when it comes to this situation right here, it hasn't been leading me to Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion for 100%. 100%. It hasn't been leading me to that. But comment down below. I'm here to read your comments. All right. Subscribe to stay tuned for more videos to come. Comment down below any other videos that you want me to watch, react to, give my opinion on. Literally anything. It could be relationships, videos like this, crazy videos, shocking videos, conspiracy videos, whatever it is. Comment down below or DM me on my Instagram and I'll give it a watch so we can watch it as a family. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Love y'all.